Hello dear friends, Fisher here. It's time for Bruno's teaching. And Bruno said, the natural powers enter his body only when the human being keeps calm, which is the most necessary things for this. Yes, dear friends, God's divine power can only come to us when we are calm, not when we are agitated. So being calm, peaceful, is fundamentally important to absorb God's divine power. And dear friends, now the question comes, how a person be calm? And Bruno used to say, what matters is how. Everybody wants to be healthy, but how a person can be healthy, how a person can be calm. You see, dear friends, these days, it is almost luxurious for us to have inner peace, to have inner calmness in this world full of distractions, full of disasters, full of bad news. It is very difficult for all of us. But there is a way we can do it, dear friends, to be calm. You see, if you ever go to the farm, you look at the sheep, you look at the cows. They eat and then they relax. And they calm. And the question is, why we can't be calm? Why we can't be just like the animals? After our stomach satisfied, and then we become calm itself. We have ingested too much negative news, negative thoughts, uncalming and uneasing thoughts, and that bothers us. As I say to my dear mom, I say, Mom, stop watching TV. Stop watching those terrible news. Stop watching the news telling you there is full of problems in this world, in the people around you. Do not watch the news, but watch yourself. Pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to your body, and pay attention to your health. As what Bruno always said, pay attention to your body every single second. So, by not paying attention to any negative things, dear friends, and our brain naturally does not need to deal with it. Our brain is like a computer. Whatever you download to the computer and the informations have to be processed. And same thing with our brain. Whatever the good things and bad things we look at, whatever the good thoughts and bad thoughts we receive, our brain has to process that. if we look at and receive too many negativities, and then our brain has to process the negativities, and it will not become ease, it will become unease. So in order to be calm, dear friends, first, do not look at anything negative as much as you can. Do not pay attention to any negative things, negative news, negative people around you. So this way, your brain does not need to process those terrible informations. That information does not help you to be peaceful, to be calm. So first, do not add any more load to your mind anymore. And secondly, whatever you have within you, within your mind, within your brain, anything negative, you have to get rid of it, whether there be a negative emotion buried underground for 10, 20, 30 years or even longer. You have to get rid of it, dear friends, because it does not serve you in any good. I normally imagine there is a mental rubbish bin. If anything bad ever came to my thoughts, and I reject that, and whatever anything negative, and I say, oh, I chuck all these negativities from my brain, from my mind, into the mental rubbish bin. And I also gaze on Bruno's photo, gaze on his eyes, to ask Bruno to cleanse my mind. But first, I must have the will to do it, and ask Bruno, and then he can help me. There is two things you can do. First, do not receive anything bad anymore. Second, get rid of anything bad within you that you have previously accumulated. And third, what you can do is, as I do, is mental affirmation. Sometimes, especially when I used to receive millions of thoughts, disturbing thoughts, within a few seconds, my mind, my brain were bombarded by all different thoughts, and then I could not be calm to absorb God's divine energy because I was so distracted. And then I use my willpower just to gaze and on one word, God, peace, God is peace. And I keep repeating it in my mind, keep repeating it. So this way, I focus on peace, I focus on God, and I keep repeating it. And sometimes it takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes for me to completely calm down. And then my hands will feel the God's divine energy flowing through. So that is what helps me, dear friends. You can always do it. As long as you have the will, you will achieve it with God's and Bruno's help. Wish you have a good day, and God bless.